Morning, Steve Free in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Well, today could be a pretty active day in the grains. We get the USDA report today, and half the crowd thinks that the USDA will finally come to grips that the crop is smaller because of late plantings and a dry summer and then this wet spring and fall. The other half believes that they really don't have enough data coming in to change acres or yield. Especially on the yield side, because right now the crop that's being harvested is showing yields a little bit better than what some people had thought. So there is a chance they could actually raise the crops numbers today. And that maybe won't be until January until they actually can lower the crop to where, the supply bulls look for it to be. As far as markets, funds, we're going into this report with the funds long being short corn. And they keep adding to their short position in corn. So cash basis in corn is basically on fire because there's not enough corn moving into the pipeline. So it's tough when you're trying to talk about conversions. We're not getting it in the corn market with cash and futures. The big news overnight is the White House kind of came out and said that they're not sure that there is enough information to agree on dropping tariffs, and that a lot of people believe that tariffs is the negotiating piece by the U.S. To try to get China to buy more U.S. goods, to narrow the gap between what China sells here and what China buys in the United States. And so that could offer some resistance to the market. We had a lot of buying, especially in the stock market yesterday, because it looked like we were going to get a deal. So it's just like every day there's something different coming out on one side or the other of a trade deal. And it's really moving, especially the stock market, very volatile. And the stock market's at new highs because it's thinking that it's going to get a trade deal and that's going to help global economies. As far as the USDA report, 11 o'clock will be a lot smarter. And my feeling is that it might be just a little negative and that they may not have enough information. So that puts us in a trading range, and we might be in that range for quite a while. Weather-wise, U.S. is going to be cold and dry. That should help harvest, not helping people trying to get to work in Chicago. As far as the South American weather, 75% of Brazil should get normal rains over the next couple of weeks. The only dry area is up in the northeast part of Brazil. And as far as Argentina is concerned, about half of Argentina looks like they're going to be getting some rains. The other half will be needing some rains. Had a lot of information that came out. First of all, the USDA is preparing to roll out their second tranche to compensate farmers for losses due to the China trade gap. There's talk about companies in the Midwest running out of propane to dry corn. There's one company that is going to waive its fees and charges farmers to dry grain to try to help grain moving through the system. China on Friday raised its imports of beans 2 million tons to 86 million tons. They're also seeing increase in vegetable imports in October, up 8% from the previous month. China pork imports record levels, as much as almost 5 million tons next year, according to the Dutch firm. And we also noted that in wheat, parts of Argentina could see a lower wheat crop. We also note that China is actually buying wheat from France. We had plugged in that China was going to buy 3 million tons of wheat imports, half of that from Canada. It might be as much now as 6 to 6.5 million tons. We also believe that when we look at prices year on year, right now wheat prices are up 6 cents, corn's down a penny, and beans are up 44 cents. The U.S. soybean crop is a little over 3.5 billion bushels versus 4.4 last year. The corn crop is 13.8 versus 14.4. And total wheat supply is a little over 3.1 billion versus 3.1 a year ago. So, there's something else going on globally that's not allowing our prices to rally, despite the fact that crops are smaller than a year ago. And finally, We heard that the ex-mayor of New York, Bloomberg, may get into the political race. There has been some talk that if Biden loses some of his charm, that Bloomberg would step in. And given the fact that he's a moderate, people are thinking that a one-on-one between him and the president would allow Bloomberg to win the presidency. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day.